Hello there, welcome to Conflict News 2042. Several updates for you on the ongoing escalation in the Middle East involving Israel, Palestine, little bit Lebanon and Syria too. Firstly, an update I reported about Israeli airstrikes on Syria today. What happened there? An Iranian minister was about to land in Syria before these airstrikes were conducted. Two videos for you which I want to show you. These videos sum up the mood in Israel and Palestine. These videos give us a hint of how this war is going to progress. Thirdly, Antony Blinken, US Secretary of State, arrived in Israel today. And lastly, France has banned pro-Palestine protests, pro-Hamas protests. Let's start with an update on the airstrikes conducted on Thursday afternoon by Israeli Defense Force, Israeli Air Force on two airports in Syria. Two airports were hit. Firstly, Damascus Airport. Secondly, Aleppo Airport were hit in these airstrikes. The airports suffered significant damage. They have been put out of service. So they're not functional anymore. Why did Israel conduct these strikes? Syria has issued a statement condemning the strikes. Syria says that this act of aggression shows that Israeli military is suffering losses at the hands of Palestinian fighters, and Israeli military wants to cover up its atrocity which it is committing in Gaza, and that Israel is backing terrorist elements in Syria. Before these airstrikes were conducted onto airports in Syria, an Iranian minister was about to land in Damascus. He is foreign minister of Iran, and he was on his way when the strikes happened, and he had to abort landing. So he could not land at Damascus airport. Iranian foreign minister's departure for Damascus is being confirmed, but due to these strikes, he had to abort the landing and he returned. So, Israel's message is to Iran, to Syrian government as well, that these two governments must not involve in supporting Hamas. Now, some news stories. Firstly, two videos for you. These two videos sum up the mood of war. First video shows Hamas fighters. It has been published by Hamas. The video shows Hamas fighters turning water pipes into rockets. Underground water pipes dug out and turned into rockets. So, despite Gaza being under siege for around 16 years, despite fence built around Gaza, despite blockade of Gaza, Palestinian fighters could not be stopped from arming themselves to defend themselves. And they made use of water pipes. And they dug out these water pipes, they turned them into rockets. Second video shows Israeli soldiers chanting something. I think it's religious prayer, it seems, from Torah maybe. While they're chanting the religious prayers, rockets can be seen being intercepted in the air by Israeli air defense system, Iron Dome. So while overhead rockets are being fired, intercepted, obviously some could penetrate and reach the place where the soldiers are, but they are not scared. They are busy reciting their religious prayers. This is the mood on both sides. You cannot crush Hamas. At the same time, for Israel, it's a religious war. Just like for Palestinian, it's a religious war. On both sides, emotions running high. You cannot convince these people, the two sides, by saying that people are dying, stop fighting. No, they're charged, emotionally charged, religiously charged. What needs to be done is that international community, other players, they should try to control the situation. If Israelis and Palestinians are left to themselves, you'll see the war will continue. And it has been continuing for decades. No solution. Because sensitivities, loyalties on both sides very high, very deep. But problem is that international players, regional players, all have their access to grind. They don't want this issue to be resolved. Two videos, watch the two videos, then two more news stories for you. Thirdly, viewers, Antony Blinken, U.S. Secretary of State, has arrived in Israel. In Tel Aviv, he landed today. Tel Aviv is being bombarded by rockets, by Hamas. Rockets being fired from Gaza to hit Tel Aviv, to hit Ashkelon, to hit Ashdod, to hit Netanya. But despite this threat, Antony Blinken arrived in Tel Aviv to show solidarity with Israel. Israel has one of the most powerful countries behind its military, behind its military operations. US providing all types of support to Israeli government, financial support, diplomatic support, military support, support on international platforms, etc. Blinken arrived before that. We saw that a US carrier strike group arrived in the Mediterranean Sea. US military transport planes have landed in Israel carrying military aid for Israeli forces. So, unequivocally, US is standing with Israel. Is there anyone standing with the Palestinian fighters, Hamas, unequivocally, directly, openly? No. Can anyone from Arab countries visit Gaza to show solidarity with the people of Gaza, with fighters of Gaza? No. No one can do that. No one will be allowed to do that. So, Israel has big powers backing it. Palestinian fighters, they have some backers too. Yes, Iran, groups based in Lebanon, Syria too. but the type of support which Israel receives is not available to Hamas fighters. Let's see what Blinken announces while he is in Israel. Will there be a big announcement? By the way, yesterday we heard that Israel formed an emergency unity government. Netanyahu and Benny Gantz agreed on the formation of this transitional setup to steer the country through this war. But an opposition party leader today refused to join this government. Yair Lapid has decided against joining the government. He said this government has some extremists. That is why he cannot join the emergency transitional setup. It's a big blow, political blow to Israeli government, because you need unity in time of war. So this is first split which we are seeing. Let's see, can Blinken's visit lead to some unity within Israeli political parties? We'll see in coming hours. Lastly, France has banned all pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine protests. Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin issued a statement today saying that these threats could pose a danger, could be a danger for peace and stability, could be a danger to public order. That is why participants, organizers, all will be arrested. Whoever tried to organize or participate in protests in support of Hamas will be arrested. Now, I just want to make one point. These Western countries, developed countries, they preach entire world, Africa, Asia, that human rights should be respected, that fundamental rights should be respected. But when it comes to their own countries, they can make any decision. Isn't it a violation of fundamental rights of people? People have right to assembly, right to expression, right to speak. This right is being denied by French government. We could see similar measures in other countries. And we saw that during Russia-Ukraine war too, that Russian television channels were blocked. Russian tycoons, their assets were frozen across the world. Even Russian sportsmen had to face discrimination. And there was no respect for people's fundamental rights in EU, in US. Once again, we're seeing the same. France has banned pro-Palestine protests. We could see other countries join into. If pro-Hamas protests are banned, obviously those protesters who support strikes on Gaza should also be arrested. Why? Because people are dying in Gaza. Around 2,000 deaths, around 5,000 injured, and more than 1,000 deaths in Gaza so far. Yes, Hamas killed civilians too, but Israeli military is also killing civilians. So both parties are killing civilians and killing each other too. You cannot adopt a discriminatory policy in support of one party. It means that you are party to the conflict. This is what I earlier said, that external players, they have their access to grind. They are not part of solution, they are part of the problem, because they support one or the other side. They're not neutral. That is why this conflict remained unresolved for years. Thank you for watching.